Welcome to Be Me with Shari Ware, the podcast where each day is a step towards a better you and where we focus on progress, not perfection. Join me as we embark on a journey of self-improvement and wellness, focusing on being just a little better than we were yesterday.
Hello, this is episode 23 of the Be Me podcast. I'm Shari Ware, I'm your host, and in this episode, we are talking about daily affirmations and incantations. So, Muhammad Ali, he said, I figured that if I said it enough, I would convince the world that I really was the greatest. And he definitely is still considered the greatest of all time in the boxing world. So it worked, and that is the power of affirmations and incantations. So we're going to talk about that now. So let's talk about all the things. What are affirmations and incantations? They are short, powerful statements. They can significantly influence your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. And by regularly repeating them, you're actually rewiring your brain. You're replacing any negative thought patterns that might be in there with positive ones when you are regularly repeating positive affirmations and incantations. No, it is not wishful thinking. Some people, think it may be a bit woo-woo. It's just wishful thinking. This is all backed by neuroscience. The brain actually does begin to forge new neural pathways when you are repeatedly, consistently reciting affirmations and incantations. This process, it's called neuroplasticity. Your brain can change its structure and its function based on repeated experiences and thoughts, which is exactly what you're doing when you are repeating positive affirmations and incantations. Now, some people call them affirmations. Incantations really comes from, in my experience, comes from Tony Robbins. And he says that incantations are better than affirmations because when you are using incantations, you're putting feeling and emotion into it. I believe you can do the same thing with affirmations. So really, it's just whatever word works for you, because different things work for different people. Whether you want to call it an affirmation or an incantation, I like to remind myself of the difference, and that actually reminds me that it's really important to put emotion and feeling into it. And I see incantations as reminds me also to really repeat them all the time, because to me an incantation is something that is repeated. You say it over and over and over and over again, whereas I don't necessarily have that connection with the word affirmation. So, again, it's whatever works for you. It doesn't matter the word you call it. What is important is that you're doing it. So there are many famous people who have directly attributed their successes in life to the practice of using affirmations and incantations. One is Muhammad Ali. We already spoke about him with his quote saying that if he figured that he said it enough, he would convince the world that he really was the greatest, and he was declared the greatest of all time of the boxing world. Another famous example of using affirmations and incantations is Jim Carrey. He did this in the form of writing himself a check for $10 million. And in the description, he put for acting services rendered, and he dated it Thanksgiving 1995. And lo and behold, just before Thanksgiving 1995, he actually found out that he was going to make $10 million for the movie Dumb and Dumber. So if you weren't if you weren't a believer before, that's only two. There's many more instances. If you go looking, you'll find many more, but they're two of the biggest ones that I could find, and I thought they were really great examples to use. So just in case you needed more reasons why it would be a good idea for you to be repeating affirmations or incantations on a daily basis. It can, by doing that, it can reduce your stress. It can boost your resilience. These things have all been shown in scientific studies that have been performed. Improves your overall mental well-being. And the reason for that is because the brain is beginning to align your thoughts and behaviours with the positive outcomes that you are verbalising, that you are affirming or chanting with your incantations. All right, so just some tips now that we know what they are and how they benefit you. How do you incorporate them into your life? So you want them to be, it can be as simple as just repeating them during your morning or evening rituals. You can write them down in a journal. As we've spoken about in previous episodes, the act of writing helps. You're creating new neural pathways anyway, but the act of writing them down just helps that process to become more cemented and to happen a bit quicker. So writing them down in a journal is great if you can do that. But if you don't have time for that, even just saying them over and over is going to make a massive impact. If you caught the last episode, which was on hashtag Fab3, and you got your free hashtag Fab3 daily journal, you could use that to write down your affirmations or your incantations, or you can use that practice, the hashtag Fab3 practice, to during your visualization phase, to be saying your affirmations and your incantations. I do that a lot. I don't do it for every session of hashtag Fab3, but I might do it at least for one of them as part of my visualization phase. And remembering that when you are, if you are doing that during your visualization phase, as long as you're not driving, as long as you're in a place where you can do this, close your eyes and really allow yourself to feel the feelings. It's not just about visualization, it's also about feelization. If you go back to, if you caught the episode that I did on visualization, it's not just by seeing it in your mind, but also allowing yourself to feel the feelings. How will you feel when you achieve that? That's going to help you get to that goal so much quicker. So that's what they are, how they benefit you, and how you can incorporate into your daily life. And I also do have I created some affirmation cards that you can print off, cut up, and then you can just have them, you can stick them around the place, put them up with some blue tacks on different places, or you can keep them somewhere where you can carry them around in your bag and just pull them out whenever you want. If you're stuck for some inspiration and you want to remember some of your affirmations or incantations, I have already done some for you, but I've left space for you to create your own. And of course, you can print out as many of these sheets as you like. So I will give you the link to download that for free, your affirmation flashcards, and I will also put the link to the corresponding Be Me Bites edition, which is Be Me Bites 21, Affirmations and Incantations, Rewiring Your Mind for Success, because there will be some other resources in there that I don't put in the show notes of the podcast, and there's probably some things in there that I didn't remember to put in the podcast when I was, as I'm recording. So I do like to direct people back to the written edition of Be Me Bites for those extra things that will help you. So that's it for this episode, and until the next episode, keep taking one step at a time. See ya.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Remember to check out the show notes, and if you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. If you've received value from this podcast, make sure to subscribe, and I'd love you to rate and review the show. Have a fabulous day.